Good evening, Ohio. It's James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster of the Grueling Truth Radio Network with UC Bearcats on the prowl. Mark, what have the Bearcats been up to?
James, I think we called it. Last Saturday's game against Houston was pretty much a total domination. We both said that we thought the score was going to be pretty close to what the final score was, 38-10. Mm-hmm. But James, I got to tell you, a little surprised maybe at how they got there. 342 yards on the ground. That's impressive to me. I like it. That's what did hold on a second. I had the quote here and I lost it. It was kind of a monotonous, grinding kind of game, is what Fickle said about it. With our ability to do what we did, run the football, it really helped our defense. I think that is where UC is going to have to play for the rest of the year. They're going to have to control that line of scrimmage. Not saying their defense is weak, but with UCF left on the schedule, and Tulsa, and that the opportunities for a track meet come up, and I don't necessarily like that. So, but all in all, impressive game. They won 38-10. Dokes had 84 yards. Desmond Ritter had he ran for 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's video game style numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. It starts to feel like NCAA football, like the video game. Yeah.
You just keep running the ball. So it was good. Defense did well. They gave up 282 total yards to Houston. That's not bad. So all in all, solid game. Dokes and Ritter on the ground, Ritter in the air. It was good stuff.
Definitely. I mean, on one hand, I definitely agree with you. Going with the running game is going to be a huge part of what they're going to do going forward. However, I am optimistic about their defense. I mean, heck, this year, other than Austin Peay, which is crazy to say that Austin Peay is the top scoring team against UC this year. I mean, they basically shut everybody else 10 or less. I mean, SMU was 13.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're the 12th rated defense in the country right now. James. And so, nothing against them. They're 10th against the run. I think I saw 30-something against the pass. I think, and you're right, they're outstanding defense. But keeping them fresh, is good, because how worn down could they get? And this is also me looking a little bit ahead. Okay. Yeah. As the possibility of a bowl against a major team pops up. Being able to ground and pound, to borrow an MMA term, but being able to ground and pound with the ball is going to help keep the defense off the field. So, but you're right, this defense is solid too. It's not a weak point.
Yeah, no, they've done a phenomenal job this year. They're going to keep doing a great job. And actually, if anything, their numbers are going to get better this week.
Right.
Because, ECU cannot run the ball.
Yeah.
And they can't stop the run. Now, the one thing ECU can do is pass. They actually have a solid passing game. I think they threw for 300 and something yards on the last game of theirs when they played against Tulane. But both those stats are going to get better this week. UCU should be able to run for another huge game because ECU can't stop the run.
Looking at it, you see like a 27.5-point favorite, and I see no reason that this game won't end up like 55-10, 55-14.
Exactly.
In favor of the Bearcats. I mean, I think the over/under's 55. I think UC puts up 55.
Oh, easily, yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. This is a nice little blow-off week. What the game's on Friday the 13th.
Exactly.
ECU's 1-5. I mean, not saying it's a blow-off, but just a nice little rest week.
Exactly. It's a nice night for the seniors.
Yes, without a doubt. Hopefully it won't be too cold, or the weather won't be too bad, and get the game in and then focus on the rest of the season.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good going on there. Obviously, we're both picking UC to win by a substantial amount. 55 to 10 does sound like a very reasonable score.
Yeah, and James, that's what UC should do. I mean, we're talking about the 6th rated team in the country according to at least one poll. So they should be able to do that. They should be able to put a hurting on ECU and move on to the next game, which I believe is UCF on Saturday, November 21st.
That is correct.
So, good things happening, and they're starting to get some national recognition. But I do want to call back to something you and I talked about last week. What was I afraid of, James, if Clemson lost to Notre Dame? If you remember, Clemson was going to drop, but not past UC.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened, man. You look at the CFP polls, and it's Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, and then I think maybe even Florida, and then UC.
Exactly.
And to tell you the truth, I'm even less encouraged by Jerry Palm's projections. Jerry Palm, the basketball guy, he also does the football rankings. He's at UC down at 9th.
Wow.
Yeah, he's actually at UC behind Wisconsin and Miami of Florida, or Miami University. Sorry, I always say Miami of Florida because of Miami of Ohio, but the University of Miami. And he's got Florida up there ahead of him, and he's got Texas A&M ahead of them.
Yeah, which is weird. Texas A&M's already lost a game.
Yeah, well, shoot. I mean, Florida's lost a game. The U's lost a game. So the Clemson's lost a game. But it's kind of what we were talking about last week, if you remember. It's the conference. Is sweeping through the AAC going to be enough to put UC ahead of a one-loss SEC team, a one-loss ACC team? Depending on who it is that they lose to. And I think, and I said it last week. I'm not a believer in Notre Dame. I always think they're consistently overrated, but, Clemson right now, with a loss to Notre Dame, the number 2 team in the country, still stays ahead of UC in the polls.
Well, that's the reason why, and of course I've said this before, we need the 18 playoff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we either need an 18 playoff or UC needs to get into the Big 12 or something of that sort. I mean, and James, I mean, UC would run the Big 12 this year.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, if you've watched any Big 12 football, I mean, Oklahoma State's the best they have to offer. Possibly Kansas State. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. UC is better than those teams. So you put UC in the Big 12, and maybe they start getting love like Texas gets. Well, Texas is the only team that is consistently more overrated than Notre Dame, by the way. So, but you put UC in a bigger conference, and maybe we're not having this discussion.
So, how you were saying they were predicting what bowl games they're going to be in, and they were saying UC Florida. I'm throwing this out there. I'm saying UC BYU, the battle of the 2 undefeateds on New Year's Day.
That would be cool, man. That'd be really cool. I mean, BYU is a very good program. They're very good, and they are in the same situation as UC. Their schedule isn't that great, and it's because of the conference they're in. And so I would love to see UC play BYU.
I think
that would be so much fun.
Are they in a conference?
Aren't they Mountain West?
No, I thought they. Left. I thought they became independent.
Well, that's possible they did. I know they played Boise State last week. That's why I'm kind of saying Mountain West.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're like Notre Dame, and I think they can pretty much schedule who they want.
Okay. Yeah. That's entirely fine. I mean, this week they played Northern Arizona. Yeah, you know what? They are an independent this year. So they are independent. Yes, I mean, that hurts them even more.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even Notre Dame saw enough to tie in with the ACC this year.
Exactly.
So to get some easy wins and then pull off the Clemson upset with, and then have all their students run on the field and pass COVID to everybody. But, the BYU plays Northern Arizona this week. Their schedule hasn't been the best. Texas San Antonio, Texas, who is that? Texas TSM, Texas State. Yeah, Texas State. Never even heard of them. So they've made a run of Texas.
Exactly.
But no, that'd still become a fun game because BYU's crushing everybody, UC's crushing everybody. See what happens.
Definitely. Yeah, because, like you said, Boise's a solid game, and then they played Houston, who's normally solid, and Western Kentucky's not usually soft. So, they had a rough year scheduling-wise, but so it seems like there are some great things in UC's future no matter what. Either the pipe dream of going into the Big Four, the tournament, or worst case scenario, a big New Year's Day game.
Yeah, and right now I think we need to pin our hopes on a New Year's Day game. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but even the most diehard UC fan, more than me, can see, that unfortunately with what happened this week with Florida and other teams like that moving ahead of them, even though they have one loss, it's kind of the writings on the wall. But we'll see. UC keeps bringing in recruits. I think I saw that right now they're the 9th best recruiting class in the country for next year. Keep that kind of stuff up, and things will change.
Exactly. It just will take time.
Yep.
So it sounds like things are going great for the Bearcats.
Yep.
Definitely fans tune into the game, of course, on Friday. Let's see, where is it going to be shown? I always forget.
It is. Hold on, I got it here. Actually, it doesn't
ABC.
really say. ABC. Yep.
Yeah, ABC, and of course 700 WLW. So definitely enjoy. I looked at the Houston game.
It's ESPN2.
ESPN2, yes. I looked at last week was ABC, which was great that they were on national TV.
Yes.
Yeah. So this week, ESPN2, still not a bad place to watch the game. And the week after that, ABC again. So they're getting the spots. They're starting to get more notoriety and more respect. And like you said, it's just going to keep helping with those recruiting classes.
Exactly, man. And you know what? You just keep it going, and all will be well in the land of Clifton. Luke Fickle's doing a good job building up a solid team, man. A solid team. So
sounds good. So for James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster, it's been I almost said Mike Goodpasture.
You know what? That's like the first time you've done that in a long time, brother. I'll let it slide.
Yeah. So for the two of us, it's been UC Bearcats on the Prowl, part of the Gruel and Truth Radio Network.